Hi everyone, Peter Kalos here with the Melbourne Actors Lab. It's been a while, thanks for joining me. I want to talk to you guys about making strong choices or heightened choices. Stella Adler was adamant about this. One of the best things you ever learned from Stella was making strong choices, big acting choices, big actors. That's what she meant by it. And I'll talk about three examples. One is from Hurly Burly, the other one is from Interstellar, and the other one's from a show called Wheel of Time. Or As the Wheel Turns, one of those, right? You'll get it. Anyway, point is this, and I want you to understand this concept. If you make a weak choice, let's assume a strong choice is this, right? Very basic example. Someone hasn't seen each other for 30 years at the airport, as opposed to someone that sees each other every week because they just go away for a weekend. Your reaction to not seeing someone for 30 years when they arrive at the airport cannot be the same as someone who meets someone at the airport once a week. By default, it's a stronger choice as an actor. So you have to make a stronger choice because you, when you're filming that airport scene, you're going to meet the actor who you just met on a film set all day long. So when it comes time to shooting, hey, it's two brothers that haven't seen each other for 30 years. You can't just go, hey, good to see you, and give them a hug. Go to the airport. Go actually see. You can spot it a mile away when someone hasn't seen each other for many, many years. So your acting choice must be stronger than the two brothers who pick each other at the airport every weekend. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll give you two examples. There is Interstellar. We all know it. Matthew McConaughey in the scene where he gets the message from his daughter. Imagine you're in a tin can way up in space and you have not seen your daughter for a while, knowing, not a while, quite a few years, knowing that by the time you see this message, I think it takes like 20 years to get this message, she could be dead by then, she could be gone. So when you receive that message from your daughter, that scene cannot be casual like you just got a phone call from your daughter today. They cannot be. And he did some amazing work in that. That scene is remarkable. That's why we're talking about it, because he made a strong choice. The issue is most actors now that do that scene will simply copy what he did. And you need to understand this concept. When you're going for an audition, they have not made the film yet. So you need to show them your best choices. Okay? So there's a great example that a lesser actor would have made a lesser choice, not as strong. You need to go in there and you need to understand that when you go through your script to match what's going on in the circumstances of the script. So you look at it and go, how strong, how connected, how important, how powerful is this moment, is the dynamic going on in the scene, and then you make a parallel choice that's very, very strong. I'll give you another one. I think it's called The Wheel of Time, or As the Wheel Turns. It's on Amazon right now. One of these fantasy things, you know what I'm saying, takes place thousands of years ago, whatever it does. There's a scene where they're around a campfire and all these evil creatures just burnt or destroyed an entire village. And one of the people says to the group of people around the campfire, we can't go back. And someone says, what do you mean we can't go back? Well, they destroyed the whole village. We can never go back. And everyone's reaction around the campsite is kind of casual, like, no, well, we can't go back. I might as well change the restaurant, the dialogue to, hey, they closed down our favorite restaurant. Their choices were lukewarm. They should have been much stronger. Imagine right now, your entire town or village or city, whatever you grew up in, got burnt down. Who died? What don't you have access to anymore? And don't justify it. When you start to justifying things, it's a really shit acting skill. It's like you're letting air out of the balloon. Oh, well, it doesn't really matter. Oh, well, this happens. Oh, well, it's not that important to the character. Oh, well, I choose not to. No. They just lost their entire village. Cut the crap. What will happen is this. If you don't create it, you will be seen as the same actor who cannot create it. Great actors create it and choose not to show it. That's very, very different from I choose that the character has no connection to it, so I choose not to create it. That's shit, to be honest with you, right? You still have to create it. How much you show or how much the character revealed, that's different. But if you don't create it, then it won't be there. You must create it and then funnel how much is revealed. A great example is Castaway, Tom Hanks, right? When the ball, goes away. It's Wilson. He had a meltdown when Wilson drifted away. If you didn't give a shit about Wilson or the ball, you wouldn't have that amazing scene. You would just be, oh, well, the ball's drifting, who cares? If you don't care or the character doesn't care, we don't care. And none of these choices are made for show and tell. It's not about showing the audience you can do it. It's about having the character go through it and having the character experience that loss or experience that moment, not just loss, also, positive sides, people winning things, all that kind of stuff. Your reaction has to match the severity of the situation. Anything less than that will be the same as someone meeting someone every week. Do you know what I'm saying? It cannot. There's another one in a play called Hurly Burly. Sean Penn did it. He also worked on the film. One of his friends, or one of the characters, turns up and says, things are bad at home. I punched my wife. Punching your wife during an argument is very, very different than having not punched the wife. That's a stronger choice. So any actor saying that scene or doing that scene must make the fact that he punched his wife. Now, if this was Jake LaMotta, punches his wife every day, that's different. But that's not Jake LaMotta. This is a guy who punched his wife for the first time ever. So now it's not just, hey, we got into a fight. I punched her. How does that make you feel? What are the circumstances or the consequences? These are strong choices. Strong actors make strong choices. They don't necessarily show and tell. That's different. You need to look through your entire script and start now to ask these questions. That moment right there, literally fine-tune the script, because what happens, a lot of actors bulldoze over those moments. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is this. The next line comes up, so they move on. Hey, they burnt our village. Oh, we can't go back. No, we can't. And then they talk about other things. That severity of the situation stays with you even though the other person's talking. So what you have to do as an actor now is create that moment and keep creating it while you're saying the rest of the dialogue and while the other people are talking, so we see that you're still affected by it, because people get affected by these things and they linger. I'm not just angry or drunk when I say the line. I'm angry, I'm drunk, and then I let it go. You must keep feeding it. So remember this, strong choices based on the situation of the script, and the strongest choice, the better. I read an article once, and I should find it again. Someone said, why does Philip Seymour Hoffman take all our roles? And someone said, we used to go in and act sick. Philip Seymour Hoffman walked in and just dropped down on the ground. Strong choice. Not for show and tell, not to show the audience, because you're feeding the reality and the basement of the situation of the character. And if you can match that severity, then your work it's working at a whole other level. You know what I'm saying? We will believe that your character genuinely went through that moment. And not many actors work like that because they cannot do it. That's very different from saying, I choose not to. So many actors say, I choose not to because they can't. I'm saying, no, create it, have it there, and then hide it. But you've got to create the severity of the situation. I hope this makes sense. Please try it so you're consistent with it. Meaning, try this at home, even though you don't feel like it because you're at home. You go, oh my God, a ball, drifting away in the ocean. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. No, I want to see Wilson drifting away, the consequences, all that stuff. That's a skill. I want to see you receiving a message from your daughter that you haven't seen for 20 years. These choices are massive, and that's what great actors do. Hope this helps. Please try it so it's not just a concept. I want you to make it a skill, and that means try it again, so you see your own, the own quality of your work. Take care. Talk again soon. Bye.